Hello dear viewer, I welcome you to this lesson. Nice meeting you online. We are going to discuss primary 4 content in religious education, and today we are beginning with a topic that is decision making. That is why we have it on our board here, decision making. The first thing we are going to do here is for us to understand what we mean by decision making. Just like the way we hear it, the way it sounds, decision making, making a decision. What does it mean? It simply means coming up with a choice. So our answer is, we shall say, decision making. Decision making means coming up with a choice. So for one to make a decision, it's about making a choice. So that is what we call decision making, coming up with a choice. Therefore, we are going to look at these choices that we make. They are going to be grouped into 2. We can make the choices which are good. We can decide to do the right things, or we decide to do the bad things. So we are going to have decision making grouped into 2 types of decisions that we make. Bring what we call types of decision making. We shall have good decisions. That is, the good choices shall have good decisions. Then we shall have the bad decisions. As primary 4 children, we are going to be looking at these types of decisions one by one. Let's call them types of decisions that people make. Let's begin with good decisions. Which are the good decisions that people make? Here we are looking at decisions that will make us not to get into problems. Decisions that will make our friends happy about us. Decisions that will make our teachers, our parents, our elders, our matrons, every other person happy, because you will have taken the right path. Everyone will be like, wow, that's so nice. Not something you do, then people are like, you should have not done that. Meaning, you should have, maybe you will have taken the bad decision. So, good decisions are the choices that please both people and God. Remember, when people are okay with it, it means even God is okay. If your parents are good, happy with what you have done, even God in heaven becomes happy with the good decision that you will have taken as a primary 4 child. Now, which are these decisions? Number 1, going to school is one. Going to school. We have this written in our books. You decide to go to school. That is a good decision. For me, I have decided to go to school. You are a good child. You want to learn. Not a child who does not want and the parents are just forcing you. You have decided to read your Bible. That is good. Reading the Bible is a good decision. You decide to help others. Helping others. This is a good decision. You decide to forgive. Forgiving others is a good choice that you will take. Helping others, we have already talked about this. And then we have obeying God, obeying elders, obeying your parents, obeying your teachers. All these are good decisions that we can take as children of primary 4. Now, we shall also be able to note that when you take good decisions, there are some good things that come to you. We are going to look at those as the importance of taking a good decision. Importance of one making a good decision. What are the advantages evidence of one taking a good decision. The first is, remember I said, you do things that will make people happy, which means it makes people happy, not only people, even God. It makes God happy. That is the best we can bring. Taking a good decision makes God happy. And of course, if it makes God happy, then we should be able to know that God will now bless one. So we can say, it makes one to receive or to get blessings from God. It makes one to receive blessings from God. You will find the people that we do good things to, like we do good to our parents, to our elders. You will find an elder saying, "Oh, thank you so much, my daughter. Thank you so much, my son. May God bless you." So you'll find the blessings are being showered onto us. They are giving us the blessings that God will just confirm, and one will get the blessings because of doing that good thing. Another one is, it makes one famous. It makes one famous. Which means one's name will become known. Everyone will be like, so and so is a good boy. So and so is a good child. She does this, he does this. And people will be sounding your name. You get famous, you get known. Remember, it's better you get known for doing the right things, not getting known on the other side. Then also, it helps to promote love. It promotes love among people. Promotes love among people. Which means when we do something good, you will find that people will love us. In other words, we can say, it makes one to be loved by the people. That person who makes a good decision will be loved. In fact, let us make it like that. Taking a good decision makes one to be loved by the people. You accepted to go to school, you were concentrating in class, you have passed very well your examination, you will find people will love you. Your parents will love you. Will be taking you for outing, shopping. We have the aunties, the uncles. They will be all our relatives will be loving us. Oh wow! People are congratulating you. So all that will come because you took the right decision of concentrating, and of course you made people happy. Then it makes one succeed. It makes one to succeed in whatever you do. Remember we say God's blessings will be upon you and one succeeds. Now, let's cross to the other ones. Bad decisions. Bad decisions. As the second one. This was the first one. Now, the bad decisions simply refer to the ones that do not, the other ones we say they are the ones that make people happy. And even God becomes happy. Now, when we come to the bad decisions, these are decisions that do not please God. Things that people do and do not please God and even other fellow people. For example, you will find a child who takes the choice of stealing other people's things. You steal your fellow friends' things. You steal things at the household. You are stealing sauce, sugar, whatever. You are stealing a lot of things. That one you find that your parents will not be happy, and even God will be unhappy with you. Then we also have abusing. This is very bad. Killing. Refusing to go to school. refusing to go to school, refusing to read your Bible, refusing to read the Bible, then joining bad peers, or bad groups. You can simply make it like that. When you join a bad group, you will have made a wrong decision, a bad decision to join bad people, which means your life is going to be at a mess. Now, what are the dangers, disadvantages? Of one making a bad decision. What are the disadvantages of one taking a bad decision? Since it is bad, it makes God unhappy. That is the first. It makes God unhappy, meaning God will be annoyed, and as a result, one ends up getting curses. It makes one to get curses from God. You did something which could annoy God, which annoyed God, therefore God is not happy with you, and you end up getting a curse. That is very dangerous. Next is, it makes one to be hated. It makes one to be hated. Nobody will want to associate with a thief. Nobody will want to associate with someone who is abusive, who is abusing others. Nobody wants to, no one will love you because you don't want to go to school. Everyone is telling you to go to school for you don't want. So you'll find that no one will be supporting you. And as a result, it will make people to hate you. I mean, people will not be loving you like the other child who took the good decision. That is another one we are having. Then another one is, it makes one to be imprisoned. It makes one to be imprisoned. What we mean is, one can end up being taken to prison because of doing the bad decision. Because you were caught stealing, they will take you to prison, and you will have to serve your sentence from there. So we find this is not very good. This is very dangerous. This is bad. And then it makes one to suffer. It makes one to suffer. Suffering comes in different ways. Maybe one can contract a disease, and the person now starts suffering from that. If not, because of the way people hate you now, no one wants to associate with you, you will be stigmatized. People will not be wanting to move with you. So all those are the dangers or the bad things we get because of taking bad decisions. Now, our next item of discussion right now, we are going to look at the examples of people who took or who made bad decisions. People who make bad decisions. One, we are saying that those people, this one is just this is just a repeat of what we are saying. Those people will make God unhappy, and then they will be hated. They will lose property. That is, it leads to loss of property because of you doing a bad decision. they will say, we are now taking your animals, you are taking your house, you are taking your car as a fine for what you have done, to pay for the loss that you have done. So one ends up losing the property, and then one ends up dying. Death comes in. That should have been our last point there. For that, we are going to look at the people in the Bible who made good decisions. We are going to look at people in the Bible who made good decisions. Then we shall also be looking at those who took bad decisions in the Bible. So we are going to have the examples of people in the Bible who took the right decisions. Number one, we shall begin with Virgin Mary. Virgin Mary. Virgin Mary took the decision of accepting to carry the pregnancy of, accepting to carry baby Jesus, the pregnancy of baby Jesus in her womb. You will find that they can be asking you, which good decision did Virgin Mary take? She accepted to carry the pregnancy in her womb. Remember when the angel of the Lord appeared to her, that is Angel Gabriel, telling her that Mary, you are blessed among the women, therefore you are going to have a baby. You are going to conceive. That is by the power of the Holy Spirit. And at the end of it all, she accepted. She said, let it be the way the Lord wants. So by her accepting to carry the pregnancy, she made now a very good decision. It was not something easy. To some, one would say, for me I don't want. But for her, she accepted to carry the pregnancy of baby Jesus. So that is the good decision that she took. Next person we have is Abraham. We have Abraham, who was at first known as Abram, and we learned that Abram was told to leave his homeland for the land that he did not even know. The Lord talked to him in a dream, telling that Abraham, leave your parents, leave your relatives, leave this land, and go to the land that I will show you. That he didn't even know. Abraham did not know the land. But because of the good trust he had for God, Abraham accepted to leave his homeland for the land that he did not know, which was later on known as Canaan. Then we also have Solomon. Solomon is considered as the wisest king in the Bible. He's the wisest. He's the king who had a lot of wisdom. You find God was asking him, Solomon, what is that thing you want me to give you? Name it that I can give it to you. It's like at home when daddy asks you, maybe daddy is asking you, my daughter, my son, what is that one thing you want me to buy you? Mention it. And then you find people now beginning, oh my God, oh, now what should I mention? Then you mention, sometimes maybe you mention even what is not relevant. Something which is not, but that is your choice. So you find that for him, he asked God for wisdom. He said, God, give me the wisdom that I will be having in order to rule my people as the leader, as the king. So this made God like, God was wonderful that I thought you were going to ask for these earthly things like maybe cars, houses, what is this property. But you have asked for wisdom. And the Lord said, I will give you the wisdom that you want and even those other ones that you have not asked for. So you will find that Solomon made a very good decision to ask for wisdom from God. And also, he also built the temple that is for worshiping God. The other name we have is Daniel, that we say Daniel accepted to worship only God. Even when he was put in the in the den of lions, he continued to worship only God. He did not worship the king. And at the end of it all, of course, God delivered him from the lions. So that is why we bring Daniel also there. That is the good decision. He chose to worship God. The other name we shall have is Moses. Moses, that is God appearing to Moses in form of a burning bush, telling him that Moses, go back to Israel, go back to Egypt and lead the Israelites out of that suffering that they are going through. Remember, Moses had committed a crime in Israel. They had wanted to kill him because he had killed also an Egyptian there, if you got that story well. So this was like, Moses was like, maybe he's going now to be killed from there, and when God assured him, he accepted to go to Israel to lead the people out of slavery, out of that suffering. So that was a good decision. He responded to God's call to go and lead the Israelites out of slavery. Then we have Matthew, that was the apostle of Jesus, who was once a tax collector, and he accepted to follow Jesus as one of the apostles of Jesus. So that's why we have also that Matthew there. And other people who took the good decisions. Now, we also go to look at the other ones. Examples of people who took bad decisions in the Bible. People who made, or we can simply say, who took bad decisions. Now here, we are going to look at, beginning with Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve. Which bad decision did these two make? We all learned that when Adam and Eve were created, when God created Adam and Eve, He set them to live in the Garden of Eden, which was paradise, which had everything, and God had instructed them to eat from any other plant except the one which was the forbidden one, the one which they were not allowed to eat, that is its roots. So we have Adam and Eve going ahead to eat the forbidden fruit against God's instruction. And when they did that, of course, they disobeyed God. That was something which was bad. They did not follow God's commands, and as a result, they sinned against God. That is the origin of sin that we have today. So that makes us to begin with these people. Then we go to Cain, that we have on our page 88. We were beginning with Cain, but we have started with Adam and Eve because they are the first ones. Then we have Cain and Abel. These were the children of Adam. and Eve, whereby we say Cain killed his brother Abel because God recognized or accepted the offering of Abel and rejected the one of Cain. So as a result, Cain got jealous and killed his brother Abel. So Cain took that bad decision of killing his fellow brother. Next is we have Jacob. We have Jacob who stole his brother's birthright, that is Esau. That was also something which was bad. He stole his brother's birthright. Then we shall have people like King Herod. King Herod. Remember, King Herod did not want baby boys to be produced in his area because he did not want to lose his kingdom. He did not want to lose his throne. He never wanted this. He knew that when these boys maybe were left and they grow up, they will come and maybe take over the throne from him. So he wanted, he didn't want, he was killing all the baby boys that were produced such that no man would replace him as a king. That was so selfish. That was greed. And as a result, that was a very bad decision of killing others because you want to be the only person there. We are continuing. We have Judas Iscariot. Judas Iscariot. Judas Iscariot, which bad decision did he take? We all know Judas Iscariot betrayed Jesus. He betrayed Jesus for 30 silver coins. So that was the bad decision he took. Bad decision that he made to betray Jesus for 30 silver coins. Then we have Pontius Pilate. Pontius Pilate, who sentenced Jesus, who gave Jesus a life sentence, that is sentencing Jesus to death, and Jesus was killed on the cross. It's because of Pontius Pilate. And then lastly, we have Simon Peter. Simon Peter, that is when Jesus was arrested. Remember, Simon Peter is that apostle who loved Jesus more than any other apostle. But when Jesus was arrested and taken to the house of the high priest, he followed Jesus and he could stand at a distance hiding. And when people asked, as if we have ever seen you also with this man that we have arrested, he said, I don't know him. Second, people asking him, I don't know him. Then the third person that Jesus had told him that you will deny me 3 times before the cock crows. Until the third time he's asked, we have never seen this person with this Jesus here. Are you not the one? He said, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not the one. So he denied Jesus 3 times. That was a bad decision that he took, much as he had loved Jesus. And after the third time, of course, the cock was now crowing, and he remembered. When he had a cock crowing, he now remembered what Jesus had told him. Simon, you will deny me before the cock crows the third time. So that was another person who took a bad decision of developing the fear. And of course, in primary 4, we can ask you, why did Simon Peter deny Jesus? He did not want to be killed with Jesus. He feared to be killed. He knew the other one was going out to be killed. So he had that fear that if I accept that I know him, then they will put me also and they will kill both of us. So he feared to die with Jesus. That is the simple answer we can have there. We are going to page 90. Page 90 gives us the heading ways in which one can avoid making bad decisions. How can we avoid making bad decisions as Christians, as people, children? How do we avoid making bad decisions? Number 1, we should be faithful to God. Number 2, we should trust in God. Put our trust in God. We should be prayerful, because once we are prayerful, the Holy Spirit is within us and will help us to resist temptations. Then we have also reading the Bible. When we read the Bible, we get God's message, we got God's guidance, God's help that will strengthen our faith in God. And finally, we should always accept to listen to advice from people. Sometimes there are people who talk to us Sometimes you find that God uses fellow people to rescue us from problems that we are to land into. You will find maybe you are planning to go and steal someone's thing, and then your friend says, no, you leave that thing. That is not good. So the friends are advising you. For you say, for you go away. For you are talking like that because you have your things. Come, we go, we still together. So the friend is advising you, but you are not listening to the voice of God through that friend of yours. So we should always be listening to people's advice. Not only friends, but any other person. We have the elders, and what we need to know as children of people is that the more people grow up, the more they get closer to God. Those elders, those judges of ours, the grandmothers, the grandparents, in general, you find that those people are now close to God. So whichever thing they tell us, it comes from God gives them those words to speak to us, the young ones. Which means we need to take heed. We need to take it serious. We need to accept their words, and then we do what they want. By doing that, we shall be keeping ourselves off from committing those bad decisions or taking those bad decisions. How do we make good decisions? Number one, don't be quick to decide. Take time. Think about something. Think about the other side. You are planning to go and steal someone's eats from the box, but you ask yourself, what if I was the one? How would I feel? So you'll find that it will not be good. So you'll come back, you'll calm down, then you'll like, I don't want it again. So it's not about you taking time. Think twice before you make a decision. Think about the other negative side. What if someone comes and arrests me when I'm doing this? Then I'm going to be embarrassed. I'm going to be ashamed. They are going to announce me in the whole class. They are going to announce me maybe in the whole school. When there is an assembly, they will announce me as a thief in the whole school. That will be very embarrassing, very bad. So think twice. Then next is we have to avoid decisions when we are angry. Do not take a decision when you are angry, because it will make you to retaliate, to fight back. An example, someone has stepped on your shoe, now you are annoyed. So if you take a decision at that time, you will find that you will end up slapping somebody. By the time you come back to your senses, you did not want to slap them, but you just found yourself. So we need to take decisions not because we are annoyed, but we need to calm down, then we can now decide. We don't have to be biased when making a decision. Don't have that mind that favors one side and you have that negativity towards the other. That's bad. That's being biased. And then always consider the decision. How the decision will affect somebody. Like I was telling you, you are planning to go and steal someone's property. But think twice. What if you were the one? How would you feel? So always think about how one is going to feel to find out that his property is lost. Then make sure the decisions that we make please God. The decisions that we make God happy. If not, then we should not do them, because with God, we need to please Him. We need to make Him happy such that He will be able to pour His blessings upon us. And then finally, we learn we have to take people's advice when we are making decisions, as I have already explained about this. So that is about decision making, that we have said it makes one to have two ways. One can take a bad decision, and then the other can take a good decision. One also can take a bad decision, and we have seen how these decisions can affect. I want us to talk about selfishness. That is on page 92. We have selfishness and unselfishness. Selfishness. Then we shall talk about unselfishness. Now, selfishness is when a person thinks about only his or her personal side without considering others. You think about your side only. You don't mind about how others are going to be affected. So we shall say selfishness is when one thinks about himself. He does things which are for himself. When one thinks about himself or herself and not others. Which means when you are making a decision, for you don't mind how it will affect others. You are only after fulfilling your desires. Whether the other one is going to cry, whether the other one is going to be hungry, lacking now what to eat, for you, you are not. Whether the other one is going to get a problem, for you don't mind about their side. You only mind about your side. As long as for me, I'm okay. That is being selfish. You care about yourself only. So we have said is when one thinks, in fact, let's use care, is when one cares about himself or herself and not others. But with unselfishness, this is when one cares for himself, cares for himself or herself and also others. That is very good. Here one thinks about others also. When you are making your decision, you consider, how is my friend going to be? Is my friend going to be happy? Yes, then that is good. Let me do it. After all, my friend is going to be happy. After all, daddy is going to be happy. Mommy is going to be happy. God is going to be happy. Every other person in the community is going to be happy with what I'm going to do. That is an unselfish decision. The other ones which you will be benefiting alone are unselfish. Let's look at the examples of this. We have examples of selfish acts. In the Bible, we talked about the story of Judas Iscariot betraying Jesus for 30 silver coins. He did not mind about the suffering Jesus was now going to face. For him, what he was after is money. Is 30 silver coins. Give me the 30, I will give you the man. I will show you the man. And he will kill him. So he did not mind about Jesus. He was only mindful about himself. That was very bad. Then we have Cain killing his brother Abel. He did not mind about his brother losing a life. Killing your brother because you are jealous. Those are the acts in the Bible that we look at as the examples of selfish decisions. Now, when it comes to this, we have the causes. What makes people to take selfish decisions? Causes. One is someone is greedy. Someone is greedy. Two, someone is jealous. So we have jealousy as a cause. The other one sometimes is that we find someone is hungry. So the person ends up going to steal, fails to control himself or herself. And this will make you to take that bad decision. The other one is angry. This one you can call it hunger as the cause. Then we can call this anger. The two are different. Hunger from hungry, and then anger from angry. One is annoyed to the extent that one fails to control himself and you end up smashing somebody. There you will have done something very bad. And then we have also sometimes we have hatred. Because you hate somebody, now you can take a decision which will make somebody to suffer. The person has done nothing to you, but because you just hate the person, therefore like, I hate that boy, I hate that girl. Nothing the man has done to you, but for you just have that kind of heart. It makes you to to follow under this. You sin for nothing. Then we have lastly, we have poverty. You find people go to steal because they don't have enough money. That is poverty, making someone to do such issues, and it will be bad. The dangers. What are the outcomes? Of course, like we talked about, these are bad decisions. Hatred is there. People hate you. No one will want to associate with someone who is selfish. You will lose friends. Who like, that girl does not want to share with us. For me, I don't want to move with her. So you'll find you will lose friends because of that act of you not caring for them. It encourages theft. It leads to killing of some people. It leads to killing of innocent people. Like we have talked about, Abel being killed by Cain. Very innocent person. But Cain has killed him because of his jealousy. It also leads to enmity. It makes people enemies, and then it brings disobedience. Then we go to page 93. Page 93 is giving us the unselfish decisions, and we are saying this is taking care of others instead of oneself. That's what we are saying, caring for both oneself and even others. You care for yourself and others. One cares for himself or herself and others. The point is, we are including others in our decision making. How are they going to be when we do this? Ways Jesus expressed unselfishness. One, Jesus healed the sick. You could find someone who is sick, someone who has been paralyzed, someone who has been, and then Jesus heals that person. That person becomes very happy. That one is promoting happiness in others. You are helping others also. Jesus fed the ones who were hungry. They were lacking what to eat, but he provides them with enough food for everyone. There now he cared for them. Jesus forgiving those who were insulting him, those who could torture him. For him he said, please Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they are doing. So you can imagine that. Jesus raising the dead, the ones who had died. We read about the story of Lazarus, who had died, and Jesus went and brought him back to life. Meaning he cared. He cared for for that person, and he cared for the sisters also. That is Martha and Mary. So that is about the unselfish decisions that we make. We have ways Christians can also show unselfishness to others. As today, as Christians, you and I, how do we show unselfishness to others, not being selfish? Number one is we need to take good care of the people who need our help. For example, the sick, as a group of the vulnerable ones, the elders. So in other words, helping one another. Number two, sharing what we have with others shows that we love them. Number three, forgiving those who wrong us, who do wrong to us. That is a sign of love. Forgiving is love. It means you want the best out of that person. So that is how we can also be able. We can also be helping one another by praying for one another. Praying for those who are sick. We pray for our friends. Dear Lord, help my friend to become okay. He's feeling maybe this and that. And God will help the person, and the person gets okay. So that we shall have shown concern for those people, and they will be healed because of our prayers. Then we also have helping the disabled to cross a busy road. You'll find when you are on the road, and you have to be able also, because sometimes for us in primary 4, you might find that yourself, you might need someone to help you cross the road. But if you are able to cross, then and there is someone who is unable now, you can help such a person. That is showing love for them also. Not you minding about yourself, or you cross, they remain there, then you are not caring for them. That is about unselfish decisions. And of course, when we look at the importance of making unselfish decisions, you will find that number one, this will make people to love us. It makes God happy. It makes people happy. Our names become famous, just like the other side of taking good decisions. They are the same advantages that we shall be having here. That is what I can share with you as for now. I thank you so much for your audience in this lesson. May God richly bless you and give you more knowledge to explore and to show the good decisions, that is to make good decisions as you live in the environments where you are, at home, at school, in markets, any other place you go to. May you be making those good decisions because they make people happy. Your name will be famous. God will be happy. God will bless you.